Ever pondered what are some of the most priceless exhibits that thieves have dared to steal? From the most esteemed art galleries to the grandest museums, the world has seen audacious attempts to snatch away pieces of history, art, and culture that are truly irreplaceable. These exhibits aren't just objects, they are symbols of our shared human experience, richly steeped in historical significance and cultural value. There's something undeniably fascinating about the daring heists, the audacious thieves, and the high-stakes game of hide-and-seek that follows. The stories behind these thefts often sound more like a Hollywood movie than real life, filled with suspense, intrigue, and at times, almost unbelievable audacity. So buckle up, we're about to embark on a thrilling ride through the annals of the most audacious thefts in history. We'll be counting down the top 10 exhibits that were stolen or almost stolen, each one a captivating tale in its own right. Starting our countdown at number 10, we have the iconic Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Now imagine the Louvre, one of the most esteemed museums globally, waking up to an empty space where the Mona Lisa once hung. This was the shocking reality in 1911. An Italian handyman named Vincenzo Peruggia, under the impression that the masterpiece belonged in Italy, swiped the painting. For 2 long years, the world was deprived of her enigmatic smile. Peruggia's plan, however, was not as foolproof as he had hoped. When he attempted to sell the stolen masterpiece to an art dealer in Florence, the dealer, suspicious, contacted the authorities. Thus, the Mona Lisa was recovered, and Peruggia was arrested. The theft of the Mona Lisa, while a criminal act, had a silver lining. It catapulted the painting into a global sensation, making it one of the most recognized paintings in the world. This theft famously catapulted the Mona Lisa's status as one of the most recognized paintings in the world. At number 9, we have a theft that's almost unbelievable, the Empire State Building. Now you might be scratching your head wondering how someone could steal an entire skyscraper. Well, in 2008, a group of audacious individuals did just that, at least on paper. Using fraudulent paperwork, they were able to sell the Empire State Building for a mere $100. This was a stunt conducted by a newspaper to expose loopholes in the city's system. Imagine the shock of the public when they read about their beloved landmark being sold for less than the price of a decent meal. This brazen act, though not a traditional theft, was a significant wake-up call for city officials. The audacity of this act, the sheer scale of the theft, and its subsequent revelation is why this unusual case has earned its place on our list. Though not a conventional theft, this bold maneuver certainly deserves a spot on our list. Number 8, the Concert. One of the most expensive stolen pieces of artwork, this Vermeer masterpiece vanished from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston in 1990. The thieves, disguised as police officers, conned their way into the museum and left with 13 pieces of art worth an estimated $500 million. Among those treasures was Vermeer's The Concert, a piece valued alone at over $200 million. Despite an ongoing investigation and a $10 million reward, the painting remains lost to this day. Number 7, the Amber Room, Andreas Schluter. The Amber Room was a world-famous chamber decorated in amber panels backed with gold leaf and mirrors. Originally constructed in the 18th century in the Catherine Palace of Tsarskoye Selo near St. Petersburg, it was considered an 8th wonder of the world. However, during the war, the Amber Room was dismantled by Nazi soldiers and brought to Königsberg for reconstruction. After the war ended, the Amber Room was never seen again. Despite numerous attempts to locate it, the Amber Room has never been recovered. Some believe it was destroyed during the bombings of Königsberg. Others speculate it's still hidden somewhere, waiting to be discovered. These priceless treasures remain missing, their whereabouts shrouded in mystery. Number 6, we have The Scream by Edvard Munch. The Scream, an iconic piece of expressionist art, is no stranger to the world of crime. In fact, it's been stolen not once, but twice. The first theft occurred in 1994, on the very day the Winter Olympics in Lillehammer opened. The culprits, seeking a ransom, brazenly left a note reading, "Thanks for the poor security." Fortunately, the artwork was recovered later in the same year. The second theft, in 2004, was even more audacious. 2 masked gunmen stormed the Munch Museum in broad daylight, making off with The Scream and another of Munch's works, Madonna. The thieves, despite leaving behind pieces of the broken frames, managed to evade immediate capture, It took 2 long years before the paintings were recovered and returned to their rightful place. Moving on to number 5, we have another masterpiece with a dramatic history, the Salera by Benvenuto Cellini. This one-of-a-kind gold and enamel salt cellar is often referred to as the Mona Lisa of sculptures. It was stolen from the Kunsthistorisches Museum in Vienna in 2003 by a thief who reportedly climbed scaffolding and smashed a window to gain entry. The thief then proceeded to hide the precious artwork in a lead box in a forest, where it remained for over 3 years. In January 2006, the Salera was finally recovered, still hidden in the forest after the thief was apprehended. Number 4. Stratovarius Violin. These instruments are revered as some of the finest ever made. The theft of one such violin, the Lipinski Stradivarius, took place in 2014. The violin's owner was tased and the instrument stolen right from his grasp. Thankfully, the violin was recovered 9 days later unharmed and the culprits were apprehended. Moving on to number 3, we can't forget Dorothy's ruby red slippers from the classic film, The Wizard of Oz. These iconic shoes were stolen from the Judy Garland Museum in Minnesota in 2005. For over a decade, their whereabouts remained a mystery. Then, in 2018, the FBI announced they had been recovered in a sting operation. The slippers, valued at several $1,000,000, were returned to their rightful place. Number 2. Lastly, we turn to the Fabergé Easter Eggs. Crafted for the Russian Tsars between 1885 and 1917, these eggs are considered some of the most luxurious pieces of art ever made. The location of many of these eggs is known, but some have vanished without a trace. In 1952, an American scrap metal dealer bought a golden egg at a bric-a-brac market for $14, not realizing it was a lost Fabergé egg. It wasn't until 2014 that the egg was authenticated and sold for an estimated $33 million. And finally, the number 1 spot on our list goes to the daring theft of the 3,000-pound copper bell. This colossal bell, once a centerpiece in a Vietnamese monastery, became an irresistible target for a band of audacious thieves. Imagine, a bell weighing as much as a small car, disappearing without a trace. The sheer logistical challenge of moving such a massive object did not deter these criminals. The bell, crafted from pure copper, was more than just a religious artifact. It was a symbol of the community's faith and devotion. Its loss sent shockwaves through the region. But the story doesn't end there. Thanks to a relentless and exhaustive search by local authorities, the bell was eventually recovered. This colossal artifact, now back in its rightful place, continues to ring out its resonant tones, echoing across the surrounding landscape. This audacious theft reminds us that no exhibit, no matter how large or small, is safe from the clutches of determined thieves. There you have it, the top 10 exhibits that were stolen and almost stolen. We've journeyed through the audacious world of art theft. Each of these exhibits holds a significant place in our cultural and historical fabric. Their stories are not just about theft and loss, but also about resilience, recovery, and the enduring value of art and history in our lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the intriguing world of stolen exhibits. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating content. Goodbye, and stay curious.